when there is too much water, our flame, there is a danger that our flame goes out. When there is too much fire, then our water will become damp. Do you call it damp? It will fly away. And then it's not a river anymore. It's in our atmosphere and we swallow. How do you say this? We become bigger. Life is those two ginormous forces of water and fire, of river and fire, is to it is again like the female and the masculine part. It is the balance. It is the balance between the river and the fire. Welcome to our third podcast. Today we want to talk about the freedom of choice we have. That's where we want to start with. When we want to talk about choice, we probably first have to talk about energy. We like to say that there are two kinds of energy, not in the good or bad sense, but in the higher frequency and in the lower frequency. And both those energies belongs to living on this earth. What they say it is from the earth. You probably saw that my mouth want to say a different word because our word for Mother Earth is Pachamama. Mm-hmm. And that was the word I was wanting to say. So living on earth means living in lower and higher frequencies. Though lower frequencies are the frequencies that makes us sick, that doesn't serve us. Higher frequencies, they do serve us. What I just said will not everybody agree with. When you are somebody who likes to be in power, who likes to dominate, then lower frequency will serve you. But that doesn't serve humanity as a whole. That serves you alone. Higher frequency serves humanity. It's where love lives. It's where health lives. It's where happiness, where joy. In higher frequency, for instance, becoming sick is way more difficult as when you are in low frequency energy. So when we talk about frequency, it's when you talk about energy, it's a movement and it's the frequency, the times per minute that the energy is pulsing. Mm-hmm. And so the lower is on another level as the higher frequency energy.
So the lower frequencies are pulsing slower. The higher
yes.
frequencies are pulsing faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the process of what Mother Earth, what Pachamama is doing right now is higher her own frequencies. At these times, it's already happening a few months. We are now in the beginning of January 2026, and there are a lot of solar flares. Those solar flares, all that energy that comes to the earth helps with Mother Earth higher her frequency. It's one of the things that helps. You can also, the scientist likes to call it the Schumann resonance. Resonance is another word for this pulsing. Earth is not only that rock underneath our feet. Mother Earth is also, I even don't know the English word for it. We are living it's the space between the rock and the cosmos. Do you understand, Robin, what I'm trying to say?
I personally, I call that space, we live in the in-between space. I call it an in-between space. I call it like the Earth's aura. We're in the energetic space of, if we consider our physical body would be akin to the planet, but then the space above, like outside our skin, we still have energy layers. happening out here. So we are living in the energy layer of Pachamama.
Yes, and the scientific name or the normal name, it's called atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
That was the word where I was looking at. And what I was trying to say, that the earth is also the atmosphere. So and everything what lives in the atmosphere belongs to the earth. So when Mother Earth frequency goes up, every frequency in this atmosphere is going up also. And when you live, we cannot live somewhere else, or you have to fly to the moon. But as long as you stay on this planet, you cannot do something else than going with it, or you will not feel well. So I think the most people who are watching these podcasts are people who likes to live a good life, who like to live in the higher frequencies, who's searching for how can I have a better life for myself and for my family. Then you have to go with that frequency from Mother Earth, what becomes higher and higher and higher. And it is a choice. It is a choice what you have to make. What is happening right now also is there are different timelines. Timelines from people who choose to stay on the lower frequency, and that's their good right. There is no wrong or right. When you feel more at home in the lower frequencies, then you choose that. When you feel more at home in the higher frequencies, then you choose that. But those timelines have been together for the longest time, and they are splitting up. They are already not touched anymore. And they splitting, and that split will become more and more and more. So jumping from one time to the other timeline will becoming more and more difficult. There will be times that the timeline will become closer, but choosing the easiest way for you is by choosing what timeline is now. Well, this timeline goes up and up and up in frequency, and this timeline goes down and down and down in frequency. So the difference between frequency is probably doable, not easy, and also not a nice thing to do for your energy, for your spirit, for everything what is energy. So also your feelings. Then it's a kind of doable. But probably your body will have a big problem with it, because going up in frequency, your body is always the last chapter. It's always your body who follows as last, because all those cells of your body has to move in the same high frequency, and your body needs time to be able to do that. And when you need to make a step from low to high, then that is let's say it, a kind of nice, but it will never be a nice feeling. Really feel sore, tired, and it can be very, very painful.
Yes. So what I would like to add right there is our body consists of various layers of energy. The physical part of our body is the densest frequencies that we contain, is the physical. So when we make changes, we'll start with maybe we were inspired, so we had a spiritual moment, and then we go to the inner body, we go inward to the soul. We have full domain. Decide, I want to make this change. I'm now going to be here. I have a change of perspective. Now I see it this way. I resonate differently. My vibration changes. The last thing to catch up with that change is the physical body. So if you wait and wait and wait and wait and wait until that split, that physical change is really a lot harder than if you make that decision and intent here. When you do it here, it's going to hurt a lot. It's not very comfortable here. When you get here, it's going to hurt. And when you get here, you're probably going to turn around and decide it's too much. So right here is the time to make that decision, and that's where we are right now with all the planetary energies and what's happening around us and through us. And will this lead us into talking about how important the air around us is?
Do you want to start with it?
I do. I love this part. The air around us, the elements around us, we tend to think of them in intellectual concepts, and it is not concepts. They are vital, conscious beings surrounding us, permeating our energy fields that creates this body. There is an energy field that creates this physical body. It doesn't go from this physical body out. The energy field creates this body. All of those conscious beings hold us together every moment, conscious, unconscious, sleeping, awake, anything. That's how we exist. And I see a lot of the social media is breathe, breathe, breathe. There's such a big focus on breathing, and the reason for that is because the air surrounding us that we take into our body and put back out is we are actually breathing in spirit. The air is spirit. So it is an actual relationship of when you concentrate on your breath, it's saying that you are consciously engaging directly with spirit. I mean, in your body, you can transform and transmute that to anything in your inner world, and you can put back out into the world what you want. That's conscious breathing. This is you consciously, I'm going to go back to Puma. Puma tells us we set first thing every morning. I breathe in Sammy, which is high energy frequencies, and I breathe out only Sammy. I breathe in only Sammy. I breathe out only Sammy. So I breathe in high frequency spirit, transmute inside anything I need to do. You know, anybody we were talking about shadow work, you'll be transmuting all of that. But you don't put your shadows untransmuted back out into the energy field. You transmute it and you put high frequencies back out. And that's my perspective, a direct relationship with spirit.
When I say it a little bit more earthbound, everything what Robin said, um, um, everything what belongs to the earth, everything what lives in this atmosphere, are all children of Pachamama, Mother Earth. And Mother Earth herself is not a dead rock, it's a living being with an extremely high consciousness. So it is a very intelligent being, and all her children are also like the plants, the animals, we humans, but also her elements. The air, where Robin was talking about, the fire, the water, the earth. In other podcasts, we are going deeper in this, but becoming aware of that everything you do in every second of your life, and even when it's such a normal thing as breathing, the more you do it conscious, the more you are aware that you work with a conscious being, the more you can let it work for you. That doesn't sound very nice, but you can let Earth help you transforming lower frequency, what lives inside you, to higher frequencies.
Yeah.
And I think why we were talking about this today is because we hope that you are becoming aware in what for an enormous, beautiful place we are living. That there is so much surrounding us with beauty and with consciousness, and that is only there part for themselves, but part for helping us. And taking a little step back to the freedom of choice is the freedom of choice is a birthright. It is the right that every human being on this planet has got with their own birth. And I understand that not feel this way for everybody in what kind of family you're born, but also in some religion, in some country, you don't have, you don't feel much freedom, but the freedom of your thoughts, the freedom what you are doing, your connection with your inner self, with your soul, nobody can do something against that, that you cannot speak everything of your truth in some countries and in some families, in some religions. That shouldn't stop you from listening to your own guidance, listening to your own soul. And becoming aware of that is the biggest freedom you can get wherever you live. Well, that is the freedom, and that will help you further. When you go look further to this on a cosmic level, what I'm thinking on right now, some families or some people are losing their belief in God. Well, something has happened and they say, how can God let this happen? And that's not the way it works. God is not a human being. Spirit, the cosmic forces, is not a human being with a human brain who thinks and is the energy of the most highest frequency there is. It's only pure and it can only be that. We can be more because we have a brain and we can say now we're going right and now we're going left, or we can change our thoughts in a second.
I think when we say there's conscious beings, people's minds automatically slip to this little mind that we run our thoughts through. And so when we say we are surrounded by conscious beings, they see these thinking thoughts as our conscious is not. This is our intellect. What's underneath that is the consciousness. Kind of like the invisible force that runs you, these conscious beings around us. There's no judgment. There's no judgment. You okay, so then we're going to talk a little bit about praying as begging, or praying you tell the forces what you need, they respond. If you beg, it comes from lack and you're going to get more. So there's no judgment or decisions being made by the forces. They didn't let it happen. God didn't make it happen, let it happen. You did. You created a resonance that is attracting that experience to you. The forces accommodate what we put out.
And the more what we pray for or wish for that is aligned with our soul, the more those forces outside ourselves can help us. When we ask for something what is not aligned for our soul, and it comes from the right place. Now I say something that's not possible. It can feel like that is what you need, and it comes from that place, but it still is a line from the brain down that asks you that asks you
Mhm.
for whatever it is you want. Then spirit or the cosmic forces or God or every other energy being that lives there wants to push you towards that alignment. And that pushing in the way we feel it as human beings on this earth is not always nice. That's not always, oh, goody, 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 come. It's
No,
not,
because if
it's,
you make a choice that you're at this frequency, but you wanna be here, it's not a comfortable jump, but you put it out there and you told all the cosmic forces this is what you want, they're gonna align you here. It's not an easy jump. You know, sometimes you get to go like this, not usually. It's usually kinda rough.
it is for the most people. However, I have to say right now, there are, they call it veils. Perhaps you have to say it in the right English pronunciation.
You have to explain what you're saying so I can find our word. 'Cause that
The
veals is that's meat.
oh God.
So, let's see what we're
No,
talking about.
no. Because the energy of the earth and the energy that surrounds the earth, and not only in our atmosphere, but also in the cosmos, is already so much higher that it is for us people living in these times, it is the density traveling to the cosmos and staying on Earth is way more easier. Coming in contact with cosmic beings is because the density is gone. And the word I'm trying to say, and it sounds like meat, but it is a veil. It is
Oh, the
something,
veil.
the veil.
Veils. The veil between the worlds. Yeah, I got ya.
Yes, and they become thinner. So Robin and I both are a very, very long time busy with this work for ourselves. And only in my experience, how it was for even a few years back, let's say 20 years back, to travel to a planet, for instance, was, and I mean traveling spiritually and not within a big machine. It was
You don't have a
way,
private rocket?
what did you say?
You don't have a private rocket?
In my mind, I had.
You do.
Not material. And um, it was way harder work then. It was really working. And now it's more like, whoops, and you're gone. And so for doing this work now, when you just start working on this right now, it is easier. For the most people, it's way easier, but that doesn't mean it is easy. Where we talked about already in the first two episodes, it needs practice. Everything on this path needs practice, practice, practice. And do you want to add something about this?
Um, I think the only thing that was, um, I wanted to kinda throw in there is the manner of making this happen, you know, how do you maintain your higher frequency? How do you get to your higher frequency? But all of this about cultivating your inner world. You cultivate your inner world. Take the focus off the outer world. Recognize that there's conscious beings around you, in you, through you, that their entire purpose is to align whatever it is you're creating inside. Their job is to create outside so that everything is lining up. So if you focus on your inner world rather than your outer world, you tend to stay more centered. You stay more, what am I trying to say? You know, more at an even consistent. Consistency rather than mote diligence of just repeating and repeating and repeating and repeat your affirmations every day. But if there is not the matching frequency inside, those affirmations are pointless. They're just words on a piece of paper stuck on your mirror. You're not resonating the frequency within. And that happens first. And once you stay focused there, it will become very, very obvious how much there are sentient beings around you just waiting to manifest whatever you are creating inside. You got to create it inside first.
Yes. And what I want to add to that is we have learned to think in good and wrong,
Yeah.
and right. In my head, I was keeping myself back a little bit, but I will not do that. You have to stop with that. You just have to stop with thinking in wrong and right, especially when it's about yourself. When you are trying to do the good thing and you noticed, or it didn't went in the way I thought it would go, and you notice that spirit is trying to push you a little bit in a different direction, don't become mad about yourself, make yourself small, make yourself something what you are not. You are just learning. It is just a learning phase of learning yourself, learning really understand what it is, who you are, and all the aspects. It's a vast thing, our soul. It's not one thing. It's not one direction. But it is a lot what a soul is. So learning that everything that needs time and that needs mistakes. And those mistakes are not wrong. That are possibilities to learn the right way. And staying in the higher frequency doing this while becoming mad about yourself or saying that you are whatever you name yourself at those times, that is lower frequency energy. That's not a high frequency energy. So you are trying to be there, you're working hard to go there, and you call yourself names and you are back there. And then you have to climb up again. And that makes it a whole lot of more difficult. And the most important energy you can use by this is love. When you transform everything what is not in a higher frequency inside yourself, for instance, to love, love is one of the highest frequency we as human beings can produce. With love, we can heal everything. And I know many people are saying this, and I say it also now because it's true. Because with love, you can heal anything, even cancer, even name every sickness in the world you know by name, you can heal with love.
Love also has consciousness. Love is a conscious being. You did this interact with love, not a concept. I know it's being said, love heals everything. What is love? Not what does love mean to you? Not that. That's a concept. What is love? How do you feel love in your life?
And
That needs
then
to be inside.
not the love for your partner. That's not the love,
No.
the first part of the love. Your frequency is not about what you are doing. Also, when you think the whole day bad things, then that is your truth from this moment. Then you will
Yes,
stay
because you
in.
have turned all of your energy that you are composed excuse me, composed of into lower you just resting in the lower densities. And so that becomes the truth, and you just bring more of it.
I was last week talking to somebody And that's a person who is very often sick in her life. So I was talking a little bit like this, like what we're talking about now, to her. And then she said, yeah, that is what I'm trying, but. And then she makes that what she is saying, that is the low frequency. Well, that is what she's thinking. And she said something like, yeah, but I tried it so often and it never happened. So that is where the focus is. And that is where the frequency of her existence is pointing towards. And that is not an easy way. And it goes even that far. That's the way we have learned to think. So going this path and going in this higher frequency will also mean that you have to be very conscious of your thoughts, and you have to learn your brain other thoughts. I call that puppy training.
Potty training.
I call
like
that
it.
puppy training. It's not being mad about your brain because it is saying rough things about yourself again, or about somebody you even don't know, but you don't like the dress she is wearing. But it is training your brain like you train a puppy. Focus on the bad things it's doing. It's focusing on the good things it's doing. And that you can say, oh, that's good. Oh, go. Then you go with yourself on higher frequency. So being in a higher or lower frequency has to do with your thoughts. It has to do with the constant noise, what is in your head, and your intent. Your intentions.
I think also we have been trained or conditioned or taught that there's supposed to be a struggle, that the struggle is it's a gallant thing to go through your struggle, and I think everybody's looking for the struggle. Does not have to be a struggle. Especially now, there's so many higher frequencies around us. Right, this is really about the gentle process. We're switching from not a big, long process, you sit and look at everything, to a gentle process. Everything's in line for the gentle process, but we just we love our struggles. We like to be a martyr, and we need to get past all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
That
quite
needs,
attached.
and that really needs a rethinking, because we are, it isn't, it's where we used to. That is our normal. Life needs to be hard. No, that doesn't need to be hard. And even
No.
the more you are aligned with your soul, with your inner self, the easier it becomes.
Yeah.
Because life is lying then in a stream that guides you from one place to the other. You just have to say hi and to parts of your life and do whatever you want to do at that time. But that all comes from the inner flow, from the inside out. That is how life can be and needs to be. So my thoughts about why I put this out here is to become conscious of this. How do you do it? So look inside, look at your life. How much of your life do you because it is a struggle? Or do you think because your inner self is saying it and you follow it? And life becomes so much more nicer when you can look to your inner river. Do you want to say something else?
I love your poetic language. I love your poetic language. It brings such a great visual. I really do, because the inner flow and your inner river, those are really good images. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
and when I want to put another element in there, there is also a lot of fire inside you, inside of everybody
Yes.
of us. And when we talk about the soul as the river and the love as the light, as the fire, what is also an expression of light. Life is when there is too much water, our flame, there is a danger that our flame goes out. When there is too much fire, then our water will become damp. Do you call it damp? It will fly away. And then it's not a river anymore. It's in our atmosphere. Life is those two ginormous forces of water and fire, of river and fire, is it is again like the female and the masculine part. It is the balance. It is the balance between the river and the fire. It's between,
Everything's a dance.
it's the dance between them. And then I go back with the breath, with the air element. What you can do with the breath is by breathing deep in, you can pass the fire, take a part of the fire element, take a part of the water element, and you let them dance together. Everything of beauty of who you are, with that you transform whatever it is in your body and you breathe that out. So it's not only that you transformed something what was lower frequency inside you to a higher frequency, but you breathe out this higher frequency. So what you are doing is you giving everything what's surrounding you a part of the beauty of who you are, and everything surrounds you will enjoy it and will become a richer person because of your inner dance that came out. And that is the way of living we really have learned in the Andes, and they call it living in Aini. And Aini means nothing ever goes one way. So everything you give in this beauty, you will also receive in this beauty. And it does not always mean that it is in the same way. So, but but you will always get beauty back. And I know Robin wants to add something. Well, Robin.
Yeah, I'm like, So what I want to add is like all these fluffy statements that I'm hearing out on social media about just live in harmony, live in love, but it doesn't give you anything to hang on to of what that looks like or how to get there. What are you talking about? Because if somebody comes up and they're being all mean and nasty to me, and I'm just not going to respond right there in the moment with, "Oh, that's okay. I'm in harmony today." So how do you maintain that in the face of this outer stuff that's not resonating with you? Well, my take on freedom is you are free from reacting. When you tend your inner world, you are aware of you, what's going on with you, the harmony within. You're aware of where it feels good, where you want to stay. And when you come face to face with something that is not vibrating there, you have two choices. You can react, which is going to bring you right down to that same frequency. You're back down in the densities. Okay? 'Cause nothing goes one way. Everything's in Aini. So if you're going to put yourself in a relationship with denser energies, you're going to bring yours down. And your other choice is to not react, to respond. Your response might be just to walk away and remove yourself altogether. Your response might be just to sit there and listen as an observer. And when you do that, you can look at that other person or situation as something that's serving you, because if this is happening in your outer world, there's something in here that's resonating with. So if you're trying to maintain your vibration up here and something comes in down here, you missed something inside. So what is that trying to show you? So then you're free from here to cultivate your inner world and say, what is this trying to show me? What did I miss? Why is this still, I thought I'd already dealt with that. Well, you missed it. So spend some time. Or you can react, get right into that conversation and try to defend and blah, 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 blah. And then your frequencies are right down here and you get to start all over. So I love thinking about maintaining your inner flow. You put it out there in that moment right there when you're standing face to face with it. You take in your breath, conscious breath, high frequency, transform whatever it is that you think you missed, and you send that right back out. You will immediately see your situation change. You will immediately see a change in that situation in front of you if you do not react. But you do put higher frequency breath back out. You will see a change in the moment, not the other person. You're not looking to change the other person. You're not looking to change the situation. All you did was transform your inner and put it out there. Then the cosmic forces do their dance and bring what resonates with what you just put out there.
And the way I see what Robin just said more in my kind of brain is, as an example, is watching the news. When you think you have to follow the news and everything, what is happening in the world, and have an opinion about that, or even feel something about that, and it's difficult not to feel when there is a war somewhere where many people are died, or hunger, or whatever happens. So don't look the news. You don't need to stay informed about all those things that happened. Everything you hear on the news, or at least say 99% what you hear on the news, is lower frequency news, is from that timeline. When you listen to the news and have an opinion about it and react on it, then that is your choice for the lower frequency. That is your freedom of choice. You can do that, but that you are staying in that lower frequency because that is what you have chosen. And for me, for example, to stay a little informed, I force myself to watch. I usually do that in the morning on my telephone. On the news app, I only read the titles, and that is 2 minutes, or even not even a minute most of the time, just to know what is happening. That is, I don't want to have an opinion. It's to know what is happening in the world where I also live in. We still live on the same planet. So
Right.
that's why I want to be informed, but I don't read anything else than the titles. When I close my telephone, I'm not thinking about that. And
Right.
when there happens something very bad that my mind starts thinking about it, then I have learned to be aware of it, and then I stop it immediately. Thoughts, and that's also with the puppy training. Also, you have to do it gentle, but I can think at this moment, I am a very nasty woman, and I can say I am the most loving woman in the whole world. And perhaps sometimes both are true, but at this time I belong to the more loving people, and I can change my thought at that moment. And that's
Right.
also something you have to train your thought. Stop thinking about that. Now you're thinking about something nice, something high frequency. And perhaps you have to do something, so then your concentration goes there, like breathing, like dancing, making the dance between the fire and the water. That's all we have for this time. Thank you for listening till the end, and we see you in the next podcast.
Don't forget the buttons, like, subscribe, all those things. Do those things. The website, something. Do something. Help our algorithms.
Yes, and when you want to want to help us grow, want to help us with more practical stuff, you can become a member of our community. You can find us also. It's called The Circle, and you will find it in our website.
Yes, on our websites where we go more into depth in all the things that we talk about here. Visit us.
Till next time.